What's up, guys? This is Teddy. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This video we're going to be talking about right joins. And right joins are, if you understand left joins, if you understand inner joins, you've got right joins in the bag. And right joins sometimes referred to as full or right outer joins. Sometimes referred to as that, but just kind of slang, we call them right joins. So if you're coming from another video, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of give the inner join speech in terms, so I can help you figure out right joins a lot easier. If you can understand inner joins, you can understand right joins because they're so similar. In all you have to do is really understand inner joins. You can understand right joins. So with an inner join, we have two tables. We have an A table, we have a B table. Just hypothetically, these tables are imaginary. They're just kind of here to explain an idea. And with the B table, we'll just imagine that these are all foreign keys. These are all primary keys. They could both be primary keys, but once again, for example's sake. So with an inner join, all that's happening is that the computer is going to try to slam the tables together. And when it does this, it's going to join these numbers if they are similar with an inner join, and it's going to toss out the rest of the records. And it makes sense. When you join a table and you're trying to associate each individual row together, you probably only want the ones that do match, because it wouldn't really make sense to display all of them. It does make sense in some cases, but if you think about it, most of the time you're going to be doing an inner join because of this. So let's look at both tables. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which numbers are the same? Or which tables have both numbers? It's going to be the 3 and the 4. Both tables have a 3 and the 4 in them, and that's what it's going to create. It's going to slam both of those tables together into one table. It's going to create one table, and you're going to have both the 3 and the 4. And the select statement or the SQL query looks just like this. It's relatively simple, and I'll show it to you here in a second and when I actually do the example in SQL Server Management Studio. So with a right outer join, and very similar to the left outer join, we've got a very similar scenario, but whenever we do the actual query, number one, it's going to go through, it's going to match all the numbers. It's going to go, okay, we got a 3, we got a 4. It's going to slam them together, but it's also, key point here, going to include the right table, whether there's a match or there isn't a match. And that's why if you've been maybe playing around with SQL Server, and we'll just go ahead and jump right into it right now, actually. Whenever you're playing around with SQL Server, you will see instances where you'll have like a table with a bunch of nulls in it. And if you look right here, whenever you do a left or a right join, you're going to see a bunch of nulls, because nulls is the way that what SQL Server is going to fill the data with. So we're just going to go right in here, and we're going to go to let's go to our stats table. We don't have any other table, and you could do this in any database that you want to. It doesn't really have to be the one, but if you do want this data that I have, you can go to my first video and you can set up a dummy database, and you can have like some good data to play around with and practice all your SQL queries on if you don't have any type of production database, which 99% of people don't, and nobody expects you to. And you don't have to if you don't want to. You don't need a production database to do any of this. So let's go to staffs. And what I did there, if you don't know what I did, I just right clicked, I go to select top 1000 rows. I probably do, like at work, I probably do this 100 times a day, select the top 1000 rows. And it's probably not like the best way to do that, but whatever, who cares? So let's go ahead and let's make an alias. If you don't know what an alias is, you will see an alias in the full term is an as, and all an alias is you're creating a nice variable so you don't have to type out all of this in the rest of your query. And the full terminology is you put an as there, but SQL Server just lets you put an st there, and you don't have to actually type out like an as. So let's just go ahead and we're gonna SQL Server. Most people just call a write. Most people just call it a write join, but SQL Server is going to call it a write outer join because that is the full terminology. Then we can just go up here, so we don't have to type all of this out because we have like brackets and stuff. We can just go ahead, toss that in there, and pick out the actual table that we want. So we're actually going to be going into the sales table. Remember that there's schemas here too. These are schemas you're going to need if you have a schema, and a schema is this, like production and sales are a schema. So if you want to maybe fool around with this and maybe go up to the production tables, you could do that, but just for right now, I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to pull some data from the stores. So let's actually just look at the stores real quick and see kind of like what we're looking at. So what I like to do whenever I'm going to do like some kind of join like this is I just like to bring it down and I just like to kind of look at it for a little bit. And what's going to happen here is so in this example, we're going to join, let's see here, on the store ID. So this table has a store ID, and we're going to go ahead, we're going to join on that, and we'll make that an S. So just to reiterate for learning's sake is that write outer join is whenever we declare like the join like this, all we're saying is, hey, go out, get this table, and this is the table that I'm going to be joining on. You also need to declare the actual where you want the SQL to kind of like jam the tables together. If you don't declare where you want them to act, where you want the computer to join the tables together, it's not going to make any sense, and the computer's not going to want to know what to do. So that's why we have the on. So we're going to go store ID is equal to st.store ID, and in 99% of cases, you're going to be joining them on the primary key and the foreign key. Or you could join like two primary keys together. So in this case, let's see, we have the bikes, and we're going to be joining them on the store ID. And look at this beautiful little relationship. Because each one is not going to, because we don't have all of these relationships matching, this is the reason why we're going to get a write outer join. And I'll show you what a write outer join looks like. And just to kind of make it a little bit simpler, just like the difference between a left join and a right join is literally which side the table is on. You're literally just saying, I'm going to show all the data on the right side, and on the left side, I'm not going to show all the data that's matching. And that's all that you really need to know. And that is a right join. So not every single row was matching, and on the right table, we're just going to tell SQL Server, hey, show everything regardless, and don't show everything on the left side. And that's pretty much what a right join is. It's not. If you can understand an inner join, and if you can definitely understand a left join, right joins are going to be in the bag, full joins are going to be in the bag. The last one that's going to be a little bit more complicated is going to be a cross join, but don't worry because I've got a good simple example for that one as well too. Hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and as always, thank you for watching.